Hey Taurus, and welcome to your March 2017 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky, and I'm here to give you guys hopefully an amazing reading for your month ahead. So I see that Taurus is kind of a little bit up and down right now. You're kind of experiencing really high highs and really low lows. This seems to be kind of run of the mill for you guys lately. I've noticed this honestly since I started my channel back in September. For Taurus, you've had a lot of life-changing circumstances to come into your sphere recently. You've really changed your lifestyle, your patterns, your cycles. They've all shifted immensely over the last year. And you're kind of, it seems like in a place, Taurus, where it's like you realize that things could start to get more consistent. You realize that things could start to get more regimented. There's a big pull for that with Saturn and Sagittarius. You're aware of this. But due to the nature of the way your life has been over the last 6 or 7 months, even the last year or two max, it's hard to kind of come into this consistent space because you're kind of having a fear for consistency right now, because it's like you, as a Taurus, you naturally strive for consistency. You naturally strive for comfort, for material well-being, and that usually comes about through consistency. So it seems like over the recent past where you had to stray from that, the way that changed your life and the changes that happened within you have made you kind of scared to stray from that, because you were kind of forced to stray from consistency and comfort, and now you're in a more volatile space, and it seems like you're scared to stray from this. It's like you found comfort in volatility, okay? It seems like it's time, Taurus, to count your chickens. I don't know, I may title the video that just to be funny, but it seems like it's a time for Taurus to tally it all up, to see what happened when, to compare things and see what went wrong, what went right, and make a decision with your decisions, with your choices through all of it. See how it all panned out. Be analytical with it, be formulaic, and see what you contributed and how things turned out because of that, and see if you think that you need to contribute differently to the way that you to the things that you currently have going in your life. It's time to see where it's all come, where it is right now. Take a moment to pause, look at everything in its actuality, and it's time to decide whether you need to change. Okay, is it time to be more consistent? Is it time to remove some of the things in your life that make you feel trapped? Have you been holding on to a betrayal for too long? I mean, yes, you've had to acknowledge it to heal from it, sure, but it doesn't seem like it's acknowledged really. It seems like whatever betrayal or trauma or hurt you went through, Taurus, it seems like you've used it and again, no one really knows. Okay, we try as spiritual counselors to find a way to face trauma, to face betrayal in a way that's healthy and doesn't hurt ourselves or others, but it seems to be a part of the human condition that it's really hard to understand what to do with it. But it seems like, Taurus, you've kind of used your betrayal or your trauma in a way that's more reactionary. It's like when you feel bad or when you're tempted to go back to an old situation, you remember the betrayal and you kind of use it to as kind of, you use it like an excuse, sort of, not for other people so much, but more for yourself. It's like, that you have healing to do, Taurus, and you're using your betrayal as an excuse not to heal for some of you, not all of you. Okay, and you're coming into a place in March with the equinox coming up where that has to change, and you're ready for it to change. A lot of you realize this about yourself. It's been such a shadow time for Taurus, period, where you've come into very much awareness of how you function at a shadow level, and you're kind of called to heal from it a little bit in March, okay, throughout the equinox. But it's really imperative that, yes, you make these steps to heal, and we'll talk about that later in the reading, some things that you can do. But you can't kind of go all or nothing with it. You can't think, okay, March 21st is coming up and it's the equinox and I need to be completely over this by then. What am I going to do to completely let this melt out of my life? because you're setting yourself up for disappointment when you think that way. It's all about the small things right now in this time of Pisces, with the new moon in Pisces, solar Pisces. It's about the little things that make big changes at more of the subconscious level. You can't hardly consciously cause a big change right now. It's all happening at the subconscious level, the shadow level. So we really have to do little things that are symbolic to us, that cause healing at the cell level. Again, if we're pushing too hard at the conscious level, like, I have to forget about this, I have to move on from this, I have to get over it, what can I do to get over it? Like, that's prolonging the problem at this point in time, honestly. Because we're setting ourselves up into those mental negative cycles where we're getting frustrated with ourselves for not being at a certain place, for not having healed in a certain amount of time that our conscious minds, thought was appropriate. And then we're kind of using the same bad place that we've been in that seemed caused by another person for you, Taurus, in like the last year for sure. But you kind of come into awareness when you're consciously trying to change things about yourself, of how you kind of put yourself in this dilemma, and then you start getting upset at yourself, and that's not what we need right now. We don't need self-sabotage right now, but that's a potential for this time period. So again, we're going to talk about how you can, on the more mundane level, inspire healing at the cell level, okay? So it's a good month for your money, Taurus, if you let it be. And it seems this way for a lot of signs. It was that way for Scorpio as well, which is your opposite, your counterpart. There's always a lot to learn from your opposite. Scorpio can learn a lot from Taurus. Taurus can learn a lot from Scorpio. And it seems like you're both really involved with your money right now. And it seems like money issues will be coming up in March, and which is honestly a good thing. I know for Scorpio, they needed a lot more attention to finances. It doesn't seem like you guys are, I don't know if struggling is the right word monetarily, but again, it's good to look at what you have. It's good to balance it out. It's good to use some self-analysis or analysis period on more outward things right now, because it's not honestly the best time to be so consciously inwardly concerned as I'm talking about, okay? So, and you've got some luck coming in for you, Taurus, for March as well, which is beautiful. You've got the Star and the Nine of Cups and the Ace of Wands, and so you have like universal support to start a healing process, but we don't want to start a healing crisis so much, although sometimes it's unavoidable. But anyway, I want to get into this reading at the weekly level, and we'll see what's coming forward for you guys. So in the first week, you guys have the Eight of Pentacles rooted down by the Magician. Okay, so you're kind of in reflection during the first week of March. It's coming naturally to you, it seems like. I see a lot of you guys putting time out for yourself more, not being so socially involved right now. And if you are socially involved, you could end up being a bit drained. And that's just collective too, regardless of what cards come up. It's a good time to pull back just a little bit from things that are draining, things that you feel like you don't have energy for. Don't force it right now. It's good to reflect, yes, on the way that you've spent money, on your whole entire financial situation. That's always supported with the Eight of Pentacles, but it needs to run a little bit deeper as well. It's good to reflect right now without so much the need for an answer to it all, because it seems like collectively we're coming to better answers and better insight when we're not reflecting for the purpose of finding a solution. We're reflecting just for reflection's sake, It seems like that's where the power is right now at this Pisces time of the year. And I see you doing a lot of that in the first week, okay? And it seems like also you might find something that you don't like as well, being rooted down by the Magician, something about yourself, something about somebody else. It's like your memory is better suddenly you're remembering things that you didn't, and suddenly it's like, whoa, I forgot that I was this way, I forgot they were this way, and you potentially are coming to like far-reaching changes of how you felt about a certain situation. And this could tempt you, Taurus, to go back to your shadow way with the Magician. Okay, so the Magician is a great card. It represents being able to manifest. It represents the masculine principle of outward manifestation, having what you need to do it. It's like you've been preparing, you've been conditioning yourself, and you're ready to do it. But again, this time of the year, whereas the Magician upright can be a positive card, I feel that this time of the year it's more of a negative influence because it's not about outward manifestation right now so much. Now, at the end of March, early April, it will be. But it seems like you might be tempted to distract yourself and you could be learning a lot more. I also just hear and I feel intuitively that it's like this reflection makes you tempted to go back to your old ways. This reflection could make some of you tempted to, like if you have struggled with addiction, you could be tempted to go back to that. If you, it has to do with lying, cheating, illusions too. That's what the Magician is all about. Maybe you feel you can solve some of this by just kind of playing things up to be what they're not. And always think about the opposite side of this. Somebody could be deciding that with you, Taurus. You've got to pull back from people right now. You don't need to be around liars, for sure. People that you know who lie or who have had that tendency in the past, I would beware of those people because it's possible, like everyone's really influenceable right now. Like everybody, it's really easy to be lied to right now. It's really easy to lie right now. So that's why I feel that we need to be more self-concerned in this month until late March and early April. In April in general, it will be better to get back out there. But I would just disconnect from any situation that you think could come with lying or come with illusion so you can face it within yourself, because there is something that Taurus needs to face about the way that they've fooled others or fooled themselves. It's just a part of the shadow Taurus condition right now. And I'm just real with you guys. And I mean, everybody faces this. It's part of the human condition, but it seems to be Taurus, Taurus neck of the woods right now, and also Scorpio, Cancer a bit, and Sagittarius, maybe even Libra a bit. So a lot of the zodiac is here, Taurus, but you are one of the forerunners of this condition. We have a lot to learn from you about lying, about illusions, about like what caused you to do it, about who did it to you that made you feel like it was a good idea. This is why you need to do this self-reflection, Taurus, so you can tell us like how you why do humans lie? Why do they feel that they need to? We have a lot to learn from you about this, okay? Anyway, moving forward with this. So moving into the second week of March, Taurus, you have the Ace of Wands over the Nine of Cups. This can be such a beautiful week for you if you let it be. So after you reflect, after you kind of easily reflect, it seems like you suddenly get this burst of creativity and this burst of inspiration with the Ace of Wands over the Nine of Cups. It seems like you can start a creative project and you can be really lucky here. It seems like you can surmass followers here if you like. And it's like you're not even trying, but people want to be involved in what you do. This could also be a good time to release any kind of pent-up sexual energy or sexual aggression that you have. With the Ace of Wands over the Nine of Cups, very possible. This is also a time, again, I keep feeling that it's going to be a time where you're, like I said, like counting your chickens, or where you're seeing like who supports you and who doesn't, and like looking past who obviously does and doesn't. Like, I feel that for some Taurus, the people that you think are on your side are not so much on your side, and the people that you think are against you will be there for you more than you realize. You're a little bit, and this has to do with the Magician too, and this is what I talk about with like Taurus struggling with lies right now, and the way that you lie, and specifically Taurus, and this doesn't even relate to other people. It's like, how are you at a deep level lying to yourself about who's your friend and who's your enemy? Like, who's really on your side, Taurus? Who really supports you? There's something that you're illusioning yourself about here, and maybe lying isn't really the specifically right word, but there's something that's unclear, and knowingly unclear, about who you're allowing into your life, who's supporting you. Do they have pure intentions? It's like you know that they don't, but you choose to think that they do. I don't know whether that's ego related, but there's something there, Taurus. Just think about it. Try not to get upset with me. I'm just trying to tell you, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm trying to tell you like what you need to look out for, and that is something really big for you right now. So yes, second week, go with your creative process, release built up energy, and think about who's on your side. Who's your ally? Who's your enemy? It seems a bit skewed right now, so think about it, okay? Moving into the third week, Taurus, you have the Eight of Swords rooted down by the Page of Cups reversed. And this is where things start to change a little bit. it's like through this reflection that you do, Taurus, and through understanding like who is your friend, who isn't, because it really comes to you, it really clicks well. You feel a bit trapped. You feel kind of a victim of your circumstance. You feel almost humiliated in a way. Some of you could have a circumstance that comes about where you feel very embarrassed or humiliated. And again, that can come from trying to be too outwardly involved right now. Again, you don't have much room to be embarrassed if you're not forcing contact with other people. Okay. And it seems like you're embarrassed because you wore your heart on your sleeve with the Page of Cups reversed, and that didn't play out in your favor. Maybe you realize in the second week how, you think that this person is truly there for you. This could be a love relationship or a friendship relationship. And you go to them and you test it. You okay, so I've become aware as a Taurus. You think I've become aware that people who I think are my allies are not. So I'm going to go to them and I'm going to prove to myself that I'm wrong because I feel that I'm lying to myself and thinking that they're not there for me. And you go to them and you wear your heart on your sleeve and you tell them how things are and you be transparent and honest with them. And that causes you to be embarrassed and they kind of rub it in your face or something. But this is necessary, Taurus. You've got to know who's there for you. And it tempts you to not wear your heart on your sleeve. It tempts you straight back to the magician where you're creating an appearance that isn't real. And this is just a part of your shadow side that you have to face, Taurus. And it's your challenge to stay transparent and to stay high vibrating in all of these events for you. Because your vulnerability, your transparency is a beautiful thing, Taurus, when you let people in. And if somebody would abuse that, that's just, you should be thankful that they did, in a way that, this could have come at a lot worse time for you. And then it's like people who you kind of ixed out, or people that you kind of, distance yourself from. You start to ask yourself, were those the people that actually had my back? And it's possible. Some may not. Again, it's good to go to people and be transparent regardless, and wear your heart on your sleeve. And see how they react. It's good to see how do people react in the first moments of being transparent. There's a lot to see there, okay? And knowing when someone's being fake. Okay, this is another thing that Taurus has really struggled with lately. You guys have got to know when people are being fake to you. You're ruled by Venus, okay? So it seems like if someone can just say things with a smile on their face or nicely, you guys are just oh my gosh, that means they're on my side. You guys sometimes struggle to realize when people are being fake because you want comfort. You want lovely people, okay? And when people are being lovely to you, even if in reality they despise you, you think, oh, that person is on my side because they were really lovely to me. And that's what you want, because Taurus, when you do it, you mean it. It's harder for you to fake those kinds of things because, again, you're Venus ruled. And you've got to realize, again, learn from Scorpio, your opposite. Scorpio can learn from you in this way too, except in the opposite sense. But learn from Scorpio when Scorpio will see straight through that. When Scorpio will see straight through how someone's manipulating you, or how Scorpio can see when someone's faking their body language, and they know, and they a Scorpio will snap their fingers and they will either just turn their back or they will tell somebody how it is. And it just completely throws a black hole into the whole scenario. Learn from that, Taurus. You can do that too. You're on that axis. You have that ability to see through the BS, and just to give the counter side of that, Scorpio does need to learn from you as well about the difference between someone being fake in a sense that they're trying to manipulate someone, and the sense of someone being fake in the sense that they're trying to keep things functioning, keep things healthy, intentions of fakeness. Scorpio can learn from you in that sense, Taurus, if that makes sense, okay? Anyway, that's not so much what this reading is about. Because you guys, moving into the fourth week, Page of Pentacles reversed, rooted down by the Ten of Swords reversed, you're suddenly reanalyzing this betrayal that happened to you. You're reanalyzing something from the past, yes, that you kind of let go of really quickly. And it's it's coming back all of a sudden because you let go of it so quickly, potentially. And it's like you actually haven't let go of it. You thought that you had, but you haven't. Because you realized that, pushing people out or something and trying to think of something else didn't actually let go of it. It just, put it on the back burner. And like you come into full awareness of this in March, and it's beautiful. And this is your challenge. This is what you're asked to transform with the equinox energy. And also thinking about like shallowness. Like, are you really mad about the meat of the issue, or are you mad about something smaller, you know, with the Page of Pentacles reversed, something that has to do with money, something that has to do with like, you know, the things that won't matter 100 years from now. Like, is that what you're upset about, or is it something that's really important? It's a good question, okay? Because if it is something that's really important, you have every right, but be careful about like your high horse or whatever, okay? Your ego. Yep. And but all in all, Taurus, like you have every ability to get past this month. Like with the star, wow, that's the best energy to have, I think, moving into equinox time. You have the ability to completely flow through this, to realize your shadow side, because it's all about the shadow side this month in March. And it's about acknowledging it, reflecting on it, but not like trying so hard to fix it, because it's like small things, unconscious things are what fixes this, not so much conscious things, as I said. So it's a good time to drink more water. It's a good time to allow yourself rest, a good time to be vulnerable with yourself and look at yourself. You don't have to let other people in, Taurus, but are you being vulnerable with yourself? Are you really looking to yourself right now? Or are you covering yourself up? You know, the star, she's like not wearing clothes because she realizes that she doesn't need them. She can be vulnerable. She's not scared to be in her vulnerable state, right? So are you struggling, Taurus, to be in a vulnerable state? Not so much with others, but with yourself, okay? It's time to look at that. And again, you guys have a lot of creative potential right now. Performance, it's a really good time to perform. It's a good time to be famous. It's a good time to really be loved by others. But you'll know when you're loved by others whether or not that's like authentic, because the star is about authenticity. So you'll sense it, and in that way you'll understand the Scorpio side of things when people show their affection to you and you just realize that it's not real, because you won't feel like the star when these people give you affection, and you'll think, oh, that there are people from my past where I actually felt this way, or where I didn't feel this way and now I do. You'll have some kind of comparison that comes in and kind of depresses you a little bit, but it is your challenge to prioritize yourself and just realize, acknowledge the difficulties for what they are and move through them, move past them. And just think about, you know, how you've been, how others have been. Do those things add up? Have you treated people the way that they deserve to be? Have people treated you the way that you deserve to be? It's a good time to think about opposites right now, just in reflection, okay? And again, it's kind of shadow readings for everyone this month. Some signs are doing a little bit better. Some signs are struggling a little bit more. And I'm wishing you guys all the luck possible. There should be more content coming this month. And I hope this doesn't seem too negative to you guys, because it's really great. Like, it's better to be here acknowledging your shadow than to be functioning at a high level with some kind of shadow issue broiling down inside of you, just setting you up for failure. You guys can face it now and transform and come into a place where you can really do so much better, okay? Anyway, I love you guys, and you can follow me on Instagram if you like. Also, you can book a private reading with me or subscribe. And I hope you guys have an amazing March. I will talk to you later in the month. Bye.